We finally made it to a final preview of the season. I've fallen a bit behind because of everything going on and reluctance to watch the last 3 episodes since they were not really appealing to me. I'm going to try and make a thing next season where if I don't want to watch a show, I might not even preview it. I've done that in the past a little bit, but not always to this extent. But what about the 4 shows I have watched? I have managed to get through them at least. I'm going to let you know what I think of them. So join me for the last time this season. It's a 2024 winter anime preview from a different perspective. First up today we have Metallic Rouge, a sort of cyberpunky sci-fi anime by Studio Bones, which kind of gives us a buddy girls doing crime drama as they go around fighting other androids. I'll be honest, this one was very much style over substance for me. I find it difficult to follow the episode, even though the main characters were cute. I mean, what's not to like about a badass kicking pair of sci-fi cyberpunk women? But the whole premise of it was really lost on me. At one point they were singing and dancing with weird cyberpunk patterns flowing everywhere, turning into robots fighting with each other. I'm sure there's a plot here somewhere, but it's lost on me completely. Naomi, one of the 2 girls, is able to control a blue bird flying around, hopefully not bringing despair to people's lives, whereas the black-haired girl was one who turned into a red robot and fought the bad guy and won. There's not really much more to say about this one. This was very much a Studio Bones production though. You can see their fingerprints all over it. Fantastic animation, looks to be a relatively original story, but ultimately forgettable. It's so forgettable I'm forgetting all about it, and I only watched this a couple of days ago. If you want to watch Metallic Rouge for yourself, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. Next up, we've got Sengoku Youko, a historic fantasy supernatural series about a Ronin wandering around wanting to become a hero of his own journey when he runs into a pair of very interesting travellers. A cat-eared girl called Tama and a rather bored-looking spiritual guy called Jinka, who seems to call her elder sister. Now, they're not of our human world, they're definitely supernatural beings. You can tell Tama's supernatural just from her ears, but the magic which Jinka uses is also very supernatural and mystical. And once he teams up with Tama, he turns into a super powerful being, which is able to defeat the strongest bad guys. Our main character in this one is a swordsman who is a bit of a loser, a bit of a wuss, but is on a journey of a discovery, wants to become a samurai, wants to become strong and be able to stand up to people who bully him. The usual weak kid tropes. Now, I was ready to wipe this one off when I first saw it. The anime looked at first glance like it was one of those forgettable shonen terrible shows which takes the same tropes and throws them all over the place and does exactly the same anime as everything else. But having watched the first episode, I'm honestly surprised. I mean, this is definitely not an anime for me. It's not my cup of tea for the most part. But it's not a bad show. Tama herself has definitely got a great appeal about her. And the connection she has with her brother is kind of fun. They're very teasing but well-known, well-travelled travellers. And Shinsuke is going to learn a lot from them, despite how much they're going to tease him. I didn't expect much from Sengoku Youko, and I got more than I expected. But it's still not really the best show to watch this season. If you are interested in watching it and trying it for yourself, you can find it on Crunchyroll. The Witch and the Beast is another big fighty anime involving supernatural beings. This time it's mages and beasts and witches, as our main character, who is suitably bored looking, is travelling around with his very feisty young sidekick, with him with a scythe on his back and her being angry at everything who walks past her. This is going to be one of those shows with a feral girl and a fatherly figure who's super powerful, able to defeat all the witches he comes across. The first episode introduces us to the world we're living in, as they go in to try and find a witch who is trying to destroy a town. Now, I don't really know exactly what's going on with her at first, The town seems very happy to have her as a witch. They treat her with reverence, which is weird given the fact that witches are evil beings. Why are they treating her like a hero? Turns out, she's got them all under her thumb and she's tricking them all. I mean, that's pretty much obvious when you see how much reverence they have for her. Lady Witch, save us from these two wandering strangers who don't think nicely of you. Turns out she wants to sacrifice the town for some reason. I think she wants to get back at people for something which happened in the past to a member of her family. Witch logic. In the end, Ashaf and Guido save the day. Ashaf manages to unleash Guido's power and she turns into a hulking monster of a being which comes out of his coffin, which, yeah, well, he's carrying a coffin as a backpack. Not the first time that's happened, and it probably won't be the last. And there's lots of bloody combat, lots of bloodiness going on here, and it's very aggressive anime. It's a very attractive looking anime, but you'd expect that these days, wouldn't you? And it has some plot behind it. It's not an anime which I'm going to sit down and watch. It's not my cup of tea, as I said already this episode already. But I can definitely see this one being a popular one. It has that sort of mainstream appeal, which sadly isn't the type of anime which I generally watch. Witch and Beast is going to be a good one if you like normal anime shows. You can find it on Crunchyroll. Finally this season we have Delusional Monthly Magazine, another anime which has me sitting there in confusion, as it's another episode which I watch and I remember nothing about it, despite watching it literally yesterday. From what I remember, it's a sort of jokey comedy slapstick anime about a bunch of people living together. I think they publish a sci-fi magazine, or a rumours or mysterious goings on rumour mill magazine, and we've got somebody else joining their team. A guy wearing lots of green. It looks a bit like a leprechaun, and has a weird little ghost thing following around which he can't see, but everybody else in the building can, and I'm shit scared of it. So it goes on and he's attacked by mysterious sci-fi agents who look like they're extras out of the Matrix. There's explosions and suddenly everybody just comes and saves the day. Although, but not really save the day, but just randomly get there. The purple haired guy is hit in the head by something the green guy has, which turns the purple guy into a mecha. It's another anime where people randomly turn into robots and fight. That's definitely going to be one for some people, not really one for me. I don't know why this happened, I'm not sure if it was explained in the episode, but being hit in the head with its metal thing turns you into a giant robot, it seems. This one is crazy. I mean, you can tell that just by the look of a dog who looks like a man in a dog costume. It's freaky, man. It's really freaky watching it. As it stands on its hind legs and stands up like a man, trying to help a kid over a wall. It's unpleasant to watch. The anime is not much better. It's not aggressively bad. It's just aggressively forgettable. There's no way to remember what's going on here because I don't think anyone actually has a clue what's going on. If you do want to try Delusional Monthly Magazine for yourself, for some reason, you can find it over on Crunchyroll. That was Metallic Rouge, Sengoku Youko, The Witch and the Beast, and Delusional Monthly Magazine. 4 shows of meh quality. Some may enjoy them, I didn't. But what did you think of them? Let me know in the comments, and join me in spring for the next preview guide. Until then, remember to like, subscribe and follow. Bye bye.